Welcome to SHOT Show TV. I'm David Lomardo, and we're with Senior Vice President and General Counsel of the National Shooting Sports Foundation, Larry Keane. Thank you.
Hi, David. How are you? Thanks for having us on.
I appreciate it. Let's start with the big thing, and that's GUNVOTE. Apparently, it worked.
Well, yes, I think it looks like it did because we have the inaugural tomorrow of President Trump. But so the National Shooting Sports Foundation, which owns the SHOT Show, as you know, and is the industry's trade association, every 2 years we run a voter registration education and get out the vote campaign called GUNVOTE, where we try to reach gun owners and get them to be registered to vote, get them educated on where the candidates stand on the Second Amendment, on wildlife conservation issues and important matters. And then on election day to try to get them out and vote, GUNVOTE as we say. And this is a very important election. You know, as we tell people, you know, the future of the Second Amendment was at stake. Hillary Clinton said that the Heller decision was wrong. It was a terrible decision, and she wanted to repeal the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. You know, Heller was decided 5-4. As we said, you know, your Second Amendment rights hang, you know, by one vote, and it's your vote. So go out and GUNVOTE on election day. And I think it's very safe to say that the Second Amendment and the future of the Supreme Court were very much an important factor. A major factor in why Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States and why she's not. And you know, she really ran on gun control, and not just gun control, she ran on attacking the industry itself, not just, you know, the Second Amendment, you know, in general. I mean, she wanted to really come after us, and that was important that we made sure gun voters, gun owners knew exactly what was at stake.
I mean, she was threatening, we'll close down the NRA, we're going to do away with this and that, and she had a Supreme Court justice vote. So.
If she would have been president, the next justice would have tipped the balance, replacing Justice Scalia, who's the author of the Heller decision.
Exactly.
And it would have been 5-4 the other way, and they could have repealed, and she would have sought to try to repeal the Second Amendment or render it, you know, just reinterpret it. So while it wouldn't technically reverse it, they would essentially effectively gut the decision.
So with Trump, a lot of people, I have a radio show in Chicago, a lot of people go, he's not really Republican. So he's very clearly surrounded himself with a cabinet of hardcore Republicans. Right. What is your take on going forward with firearms? He says he's a concealed carry holder and he supports it.
So, I mean, you know, because he's not a politician, we don't have a public record to look at, but, you know, we know his sons are both avid sportsmen, hunters and gun owners, and very strong supporters of the Second Amendment. And during the campaign, you know, he spoke very powerfully to the importance of the Second Amendment, that he would defend it. You know, the Republicans retain control of the Senate and the House, so we have an opportunity you know, it's a pro-gun majority in both chambers to try to advance important legislation like national reciprocity, the Hearing Protection Act, the Target Marksmanship Act, the Bipartisan Sportsman Act that stalled at the end of the last Congress. So, you know, we're going to, and to get a lot of regulatory matters fixed, and some of the onerous regulations of the Obama administration walked back. So we have a window of opportunity to try to take advantage to advance the industry's legislative agenda, and we're going to be hard at work at that in the next couple of years. But I do want to caution, as I've cautioned our board and our member companies and the companies out here on the floor of the SHOT Show, you know, to manage their expectations about what is feasible and obtainable. You still need 60 votes to get anything passed in the Senate, and the majorities shrunk, they didn't grow. And so it's going to take a lot of hard work, and people need to stay engaged. Just because Trump won doesn't mean you can, you know, pack up and go home.
Sure, of course. You
got to stay committed and involved and engaged. Right on, you know, this battle's never going away. It's a culture war.
Indeed, and they just chip away one little bit at a time.
So, you know, the Hearing Protection Act is a really important piece of legislation, but if people out there, and I've heard this, right, people think that that's going to pass real quickly because, you know, it makes perfect sense. I would caution people, if you are not buying a suppressor now because you think the $200 tax is going to go away real soon, you're mistaken. And so don't wait for that to happen. If you want to buy one, you should put your order in, because you know, as I tell people, sometimes it takes 6 years to get a bill passed.
Sure.
Hopefully it goes faster than that. But it's going to take a lot of hard work and energy and dedication and persistence, and importantly, grassroots involvement. People are going to need to pick up the phone and call their congressman, call their senator, and demand that they support the legislation.
I think the suppressor law is probably going to happen. The
I think it will, but I just think I would counsel that it's not going to happen very quickly.
Yeah. I think the national reciprocity thing is a little more complicated than most people are thinking.
That's going to, that's something that.
And there'll be a lot of blowback from states like California.
There are a lot of pushback from states' rights contingents. It's something that it's going to take a lot of, even more work to get that done, frankly. And it's going to require, just like any legislation, dogged persistence. It would be very helpful because your Second Amendment rights don't end at the state border, and your right to protect yourself and your family, doesn't stop at your state line. So it's going to take a lot of work, but I think it can be, can be enacted hopefully, and I think it's very clear. We would presume the president would sign it if it got on his desk.
Larry, we certainly appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to spend time with you.
It's good.
Thanks.
It's good. Yeah, Larry Keane, Senior Vice President and General Counsel, National Shooting Sports Foundation. And for SHOT Show TV, I'm David Lomardo.